subscribe.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video where we dive once again into the animal world. Today we're not only going to learn about dinosaurs, but also other types of animals. That's why I brought the Animal Encyclopedia. Inside, we have information about birds, mammals, insects, and fish. As you can see on these pages, for example, we're looking at some photographs of a bald eagle in the wild. The bald eagle is known for having white feathers on its head because the photographs are very beautiful. So let's open our box to see everything that's hidden inside. For now, we can already see that we have some dinosaurs with us, like this Parasaurolophus, for example. As you know, it had a horn on the back of its head to make sounds and communicate with the rest of the herd. Let's leave it here for now. And now, let's see all the animals we have today. And look, we have the box full of different animals. Let's find out their names and some of their characteristics, and we'll also experiment with different textures and colors. Let's see which is the first specimen to come out. And it looks like we have a baby dinosaur. Look at the horns it has on its head. I would say this is the great Carnotaurus. It was known for having an impressive jaw full of sharp teeth, although it's still very small here. As you can see, its tail is curled forward. We can see its hind legs are very large and robust, while the front ones were very small. I like this figure because it's also soft. We can squish it. On the back, we can see the spikes that ran all along the top of its body. An interesting detail about Carnotaurus is that according to scientific researchers, these small horns were used to blind its opponents by giving them powerful headbutts. Very interesting. Let's leave it here and continue with a different one. This time we have a large mammal. It's a very well-known feline, the king of the jungle. The lion lives in the savanna. It is characterized by being a feline that has very long and dense fur, especially around its head, unlike the females. As you can see, it has impressive jaws with very sharp fangs. It is very large, and as you can see, the little figure is one that we can squish. That feels very relaxing to me. The inside is filled with Orbis beads, and we can also stretch it. How about we look at some pictures in the Great Encyclopedia? And here it is. In this picture, we can see all the details of his face up close. It also tells us that lions live in prides or clans. Usually, they are clans or groups made up of all females and one male. Also, here we have a picture of a little lion. Usually, it's the mothers who take care of hunting and looking after the cubs. So we'll leave our lion here and continue with another one, a different one. We have a super big figure, I think the biggest one in the whole box. And it's an impressive dinosaur. It's the great Stegosaurus. As you know, the Stegosaurus was known for having large bony plates on the top of its body. Also, this figure is soft, so we can squish it and move it around. Stop. Its body was very large and robust, while its head was quite small compared to the rest of its body. Its mouth was very small, since it only ate plants, leaves, and grass, and it also had a strong beak to dig in the ground in search of food. Another characteristic of the Stegosaurus was its long tail, with 4 large spikes at the tip, which it used by swinging from side to side to defend itself from predators. The Stegosaurus lived on planet Earth during the Jurassic period, more than 150 million years ago. We've learned about that one. Let's see what's next. And we have a type of reptile coming out of our mystery box. A cobra! Look, I like it because we can stretch the figure a lot and we can also squish it. completely deforming its impressive face. Also, it comes with its mouth open. As you can see, it has these 4 fangs that it uses to take big bites, and its tongue, which, as you know, is split at the tip. We can appreciate the detail of its super scaly skin. I love it. Let's play by tossing it. 1, 2, and 3. Wow, another one. Over here, I'm seeing more dinosaurs. Here we have 2 Triceratops figures, even though they're different models. Let's see. First, this one here, as you can see, it's super tiny, but I love it because it's a figure. Finger biter. We can open and close its jaw by pressing on its skull from above. And what happens is that we can put our finger inside, or even grab things, or pretend it's eating them. It also comes with its articulated legs and with the tail that we can wag from side to side. We can appreciate its strong beak, as I mentioned, which is very characteristic of herbivores. In this figure, we can better see what the Triceratops was like. As you know, it had a crown-shaped skull with 3 strong horns on the top. Although, as you can see, the 2 upper ones were much larger than the 3rd horn, which was located at the tip on the top of its nose. Notice this beak shaped like a hook, which allowed it to pull out the tough roots that were underground. We can also move both the hind legs and the front legs, and notice that the back part was larger and more robust than the front. It lived on planet Earth during the Cretaceous period. Sorry, 65 million years ago. This lion keeps falling down, so let's just leave it there. We still have more dinosaurs to discover. Here we have a smaller figure, and it's one of the largest predators that has ever existed. Look at this jaw. It's the great Tyrannosaurus Rex. Its jaw was made up of a total of 60 sharp teeth, and just its head could reach 1.5 meters in length. Its hind legs were gigantic, just like its tail, which was very heavy and helped it keep its balance as a counterweight. On its front legs, it only had 2 fingers, which were super tiny, and it used them to slightly immobilize its prey or to grab meat and bring it to its mouth. I'm looking inside the box at a very heavy reptile. It's a crocodile. Look, on the top we can see its scaly skin. It's also so squishy that we can squeeze it and seize the Orbis beads. As you know, crocodiles are a type of reptile, currently the heaviest reptile that exists on our planet Earth. Adult specimens can weigh up to about 2,000 kilos. Impressive! As you can see, they have a long tail and 4 legs with which they are able to walk, both on land and also in the water. It's an area where they love to be. Also, one of their attack techniques is to submerge their entire body so that prey can't see them. And when there's an animal they want to eat, they suddenly open their big mouth and snap! They put it in their mouth to swallow it. As you can see, the jaw is very wide and especially very long, and it's full of big teeth. When they're in the water, they can seem harmless because they stay still. It even looks like they blend in with the water. However, when they attack, they are very aggressive. Let's look at some illustrations and some photographs in the Encyclopedia. We have several photographs, and what I like the most is that they are pictures of crocodiles in the wild, which is how all animals should be. As I was telling you, they can be both on land and in the water, and here we see 2 examples of that. Also, because of the color tone of their skin, they blend in very well with their surroundings. It can even be very well camouflaged so that prey can't see it. Here, by contrast, we're seeing it submerged in the water in some kind of river. Some of its teeth are smaller, but the front ones are super long. We can also see some baby crocodiles. Well, we'll leave it here, and let's see why we still have 2 dinosaur specimens left. They are 2 different types. On one hand, we have an Oviraptor. The Oviraptor was a feathered dinosaur. Its whole body was covered in feathers. Although here in this figure, it looks like they've made it with scaly skin. Its jaw was very unique since it had a strong beak. Now I'll explain what it used it for. As you can see, it has an egg in one of its claws. And that's because this dinosaur mainly fed on eggs, but not its own eggs. Rather, the eggs it stole from other dinosaur nests. That's why it had this strong beak, because it used it to break the hard eggshell and eat everything inside. Its body was quite slim and wiry, which allowed it to run at high speed. That was very necessary, because when it went to a dinosaur's nest to steal eggs, it needed to run at high speed afterwards to hide. In addition, it had a crest at the top. Very interesting. On the other hand, we have a long-necked dinosaur. I really like it because it has a lot of different colors. Also, its legs are articulated. Look. We can even lay it down, although I like it better like this. Another interesting detail about these animals is that they would usually put all their weight on the rear part of their bodies. They also keep their balance with their tail. And in this way, they could climb up the tree trunks to better eat all the vegetation they found. This type of dinosaur was a giant among giants that lived on planet Earth during the Jurassic period. It needed to eat tons of food in order to feed this huge body. And now we've finished today's video. Here are some of the animals we've learned about today. If you like this video, you can help me by giving me a super like, a thumbs up, and I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. And now I'll say goodbye to you. See you in the next video with more amazing animals. Goodbye!